Now entering the ring is Class 1 of Meet Go Showmanship. In first place, Ashlyn Joseph. Now in the ring, we will have Class 2 4-H Junior Showmanship. This is the first call for Class 3 FFA Novice. Please be ready.
Well, good morning. It's a pleasure to be back here this morning to sort some showmanship. Definitely enjoyable day sorting through the market, sheep show, and goat show, and I look forward to today sorting through the youth of Bishop. And I think we have a really good class of junior showmen out here. And there's definitely some differences of style and the way we move the goats around the ring. But I think overall we just need to work on feet placement. We need to work on head control, and then just knowing where that judge is in the ring. Just talking about them individually. Young lady in the front, she does a really nice job getting that goat's head stuck over the top of his shoulder. We need to get her feet and leg placed a little bit better. When we ask these goats to drive forward, we want to have some sort of pressure point to their front end so they can evaluate or progress that drive forward. So that's very important. So think about that for next time. The young man here in the middle, he does a really nice job getting in front of that goat, getting its head back over its shoulder. Really need to focus on those hind legs and get him set square. We need to work on getting that doe walked out around the ring. I tell my kids at home all the time, we walk those animals about a mile about every other day. and it's very important. We can get one to brace or drive in a matter of just a few minutes, but it takes days to get one to walk properly. So we need to really work at home on getting those animals walked and getting them presented extremely well right from the gate forward. Young lady here on the end, she does a really good job. She won our novice division. I asked her to come back and compete with the juniors, and she does a really good job getting around in the front of that goat, getting that goat squared up and leveling his top line. If you're going to change anything about you, I want you to get your hands farther back on his head, closer to his eyes, get his nose tipped down, and get his shoulder elevated just a notch. But I think you do a really nice job, and I love the control that you have. If you guys would, give him a nice round of applause, and I'll show you the way I like him.
In first place, Ashlyn Joseph. Second place, Ruger Talbot. And in third place, JC Eaton. Now entering the ring is FFA Novice Showmanship. This is the first call for Class 4 FFA Advanced. Please be ready.
We get our FFA showman out here, and just talking about the young lady to my right. Definitely that goat wants to fidget more today than he did yesterday, and that's a typical attitude of a goat. Sometimes they just don't want to cooperate, and they just don't want to come into the show ring the second day because they got it figured out the first day. The biggest thing with you is I would just go home and do your homework. Look at a lot of pictures of successful showmen or backdrop pictures, and look where hand placement is. And that's going to give you that ultimate control where that goat won't spin out on you. Right now, the way you have your hands set up, you have an extreme amount of pressure under his throat. And just imagine if that chain was around you. If we put two hands into that chain and allow that goat to drive back over the top of his shoulder, he's actually going to be controlled more. He's going to be settled. He's going to be calm, and you're going to be allowed to place him where you want to place him. So just think about that for the next time. Even look at a show stand, the way that it holds that head. We almost want to mimic that so we get that control. They've been using those show stands for a lot of years, and the reason they do that is because it gives them the control so you can clip on those goats. But you do a really nice job. I was proud of you yesterday, the way you got that one showed. Today's just a little bit different day. Young lady here, you do a really nice job. I love the control that you have with that goat. Your hand placement's a bit better than the young lady in front of you. You need to elevate that goat's neck back over his shoulder a little bit more to give him that squareness of rack. That will give him a better handle. Take a look at his feet from now and then, make sure we're square. But I think both of you guys do a really nice job. Presentation is good, and I appreciate that. Congratulations to both of you. I'll show you the one I like the most.
In first place, Delaney Kalk, and in second place, Peyton Kalk. Now in the ring, we have Class 4 FFA Advanced Showmanship. This is the first call for Class 1 of Novice FFA Sheep Showmanship. Please be ready.
The young lady that wins this class, I think she does a really good job as far as getting this one controlled and presented and back over the top of his shoulder. Just gets this goat shown to the best of his ability. At times, I think we get our rear leg out of place just a notch, but I think you do a phenomenal job. I think you did a really good job yesterday getting this one presented. My personal preference is I would ditch the halter. I think you do such a good job controlling that one with the chain and getting your hand in that chain. That halter almost becomes a distraction. I'd ditch the halter on that one and go straight to the chain, and I think that it would elevate your skill level to the next notch. But I think you do a really nice job to go ahead and win the class. Young lady that comes in second, I love your style. I love your just enthusiasm to be out here, and you're just intense and aggressive, and I like that. What came down to it was you're in control of this ring being in the front of the line, and we crowded the young lady behind you. If we would have came up a couple steps, we would have allowed that doe not to get stepped on, and it just came down to that. So we need to make sure we have that spacing extremely good, and having a 10-year-old, I guess she's 11 now, and a 12-year-old, I always get after him about spacing. We need this kind of spacing right here, because if I get around the front of him, I need to be able to see the front end of that goat in front as well as the goat behind you. So spacing is very important. Don't change your style. Don't change how much you get into that goat and you get her shown. I like you when you go down. I like it when you're up over the top of that one. Whatever style you choose, I think you do a good job. We just need to worry about a few other things to bring you up to the next elevation, a level of showman. But really nice job there in second as well. Young lady that comes in third, you do a really solid job. I thought, honestly, when you came in the ring, I thought, man, she's the force to be reckoned with. And this doe shows extremely good for you. I think we lost a little bit of that drive out of her, and her rear leg kept getting unset. If we could elevate her shoulder and her neck back over the top of her body, I think we could continue to hold that drive just like she moved her hind leg there. If we could hold that into her the entire time, honestly, you'd be up there. Don't change your style. Don't change your eye contact or anything. We just need to work on being a little bit more aggressive and getting that doe showed to where she needs to be. If you guys would, give them a nice round of applause. Great group of showmen.
Results from Class 4. In 5th place, Ira Mavalos. In 4th place, Brisa Gutierrez. 3rd place, Audrina Banta. 2nd place, Josie Peak. And in 1st place, Kayla Daughtry. Now entering the ring, we will have Class 1 Novice FFA Showmanship.
The young man that wins this showmanship, I think he did it pretty handily, honestly. The way that he gets this one moved around, and when he gets to the point where he wants to cooperate, he does a really nice job. This sheep definitely wants to pull back, and I think we could change that just a notch. Just listen up just a bit. When we go to elevate, let me hold your bag for you. When we go to get this sheep shown, if we would release our hands from behind his head and get our hands more to the side of his face, it would allow that animal to push forward with more confidence. As soon as you do that and that animal decides that he's going to drive forward, then we can set his top down. I like how aggressive you are to get around the front of him. Your body placement is extremely good. Your head control is good enough. We need to drive his shoulder back over the top of his back a little bit more. But I think you do a phenomenal job when you get him set back up over there on the profile. The young man that comes in second, you do a really nice job. I love how aggressive you are when you get around the front of him and push him back over the top of his shoulder. Your feet and leg placement are extremely good. Where you fell apart for me is you shifted more to the side of that animal. When you go to first drive that sheep and you're around the front of him and he engages that drive, you just need to stop and hold him right there. And that's the difference between first and second today. If we could hold him right where he needs to be, he looks like a rock star. Your body style, the position that you're in is extremely good, and it's right where you need to be. So just think about that for next time. Young lady that comes next, you do a really nice job. Feet and leg placement's a priority for you. You make sure that that sheep's square the entire time. I just want to see that sheep elevated in his chest floor, your body into him a little bit more towards his chest floor, and get him to drive uphill a little bit. And if we could do those, I definitely think we can move you up a place or two in line. Really good class of novice showmen. If you would, give him a nice round of applause.
In fifth place, Delaney Kalk. In fourth place, Peyton Kalk. In third place, Daniela Alvarez. Second place, Eduardo Romero. And in first place, Wyatt Romero. Now in the ring is Heat 1 of Advanced FFA Showmanship. Heat 2 of Advanced FFA, please be ready.
We have two heats of FFA Advanced Showmen, and I'm going to excuse the individuals to my left, and I'm going to go ahead and keep the ones to my right to come back for our final drive. So just hang outside the ring, and I'll sort through the next group, and then you guys will come right back in. If you guys would, give them a nice round of applause as they exit.
Now entering the ring is Heat 2 of Advanced FFA Showmanship. Currently in the ring is Heat 2 of Advanced FFA Showmanship. Next in the ring is the Advanced FFA Drive.
Another really competitive heat from top to bottom. I just talked to the individuals over here that I personally would like to see them change as far as their either showmanship style or just getting the sheep more comfortable so it allows them to brace through their chest floor and show that muscle down their top line. If you would give them a nice round of applause, I look forward to the final drive of Advanced Showman.
Now entering the ring is the Advanced FFA Drive. This is the first call for 4-H novice showman. Please be ready.
How about it? I got three individuals over here to my right that are just phenomenal showmen. If you guys would give them a big round of applause. I'm just going to talk about them individually. Honestly haven't made up my mind, but just things that are going through my head. A young lady in the front of the line, really nice job getting this one back over the top of its shoulder. Her body posture is extremely good. I love her style, love that intensity. Gets this one square right where it needs to be. At times you might get a little bit fast and it allows that sheep to pull away from you. If we could just slow down just a notch, set that one back over the top of its shoulder, and then get into it a little bit slower, I think we could get a little bit better show out of that sheep. But definitely you do a really nice job, and I love your style. Young lady here in the middle, from the time you walk that sheep in the ring to getting that one set up where and propped up where it needs to be, you do a phenomenal job. I love your hand placement. Just you as a duo do an excellent job. I love the way you keep her top line where it needs to be. You keep her feet and legs where they need to be. Getting hypercritical of a really good showman. At times, I think we get that right rear leg kicked outside of her body just ever so slightly. I would like to see you pull that in, but I'm getting pretty critical because I think you do a really nice job. Young lady with the big sheep out here. What do you weigh? 165, somewhere there? Big sheep. My kind of sheep. I like them big. I like them tall. I like them setting up on your shoulder. You do a really nice job getting into that sheep, getting his head placed back over the top of his shoulder, making his rib right, and getting that thing to push the entire time. That thing's a little difficult to set the hind legs. He wants to step away from you at times. A lot of the times his front leg and shoulder assembly is set outside or behind his skeleton a little bit too far. I'd like him propped up just a notch more, but I'm getting pretty critical because I think you do a really good job. I love the way you walk that one around the ring, and I love your style, the way that you're adamant that you want that sheep set up exactly the way that you want it. The individuals behind me just talked about things personally that I would like them to fix as far as style or feet placement or whatever it may be. A really competitive group of showmen from top to bottom. I'm going to show you that show you in order the ones that I like the most. If you would give them a nice round of applause.
In fifth place, Kayla Daughtry. Fourth place, Miley Patton. Third place, Grace Takansik. Second place, Josie Peak. And in first place, Amaya Sarati. This is a quick reminder from the livestock office. You have about 15 more minutes to go verify the sale order. It's posted on the bulletin board next to the office, and then it closes at noon. So head on over there if you still need to verify which animal is going through the sale. Now entering the ring is 4-H novice showmanship.
to go. So we need to offset our hips just a little bit, get our leg out in front of it instead of underneath of it, and it would allow that sheep to drive forward just ever so slightly and get him shown a little bit better. But a really good class of novice showmen. If you would, give him a nice round of applause.
Congratulations to the sheep exhibitors in the novice 4-H. First place, Avonlea Stellick. Second place, Skylar Morley. Third place, Whitney Shezhin. Fourth place, Joelle Bigham. Fifth place, Mitch Johnston. Sixth place, Virginia Rizzo. And seventh place, Sophie Deshawn. Eighth place, Dylan Mitchner. Heat 2, Junior 4-H, Sheep Showmanship, please be ready. Heat 2, Junior Sheep Showmanship, please be ready.
This is our first heat of 4-H showmen, and I'm going to go ahead and keep these 6 over here. I think they do a really nice job, and I think they deserve to come back for the final drive. Talk to the individuals over here personally about things that I just want to see them fix for next time. Really good class of showmen. If you would, give them a nice round of applause as they exit.
Currently in the ring is Heat 2, 4-H juniors. Following this will be the 4-H junior drive.
As we get into our second heat, I'm pretty comfortable using these 4 to come back into our final drive. They do a really nice job just getting them set up and back over the top of their shoulder, feet and leg placement. We need to make sure we work on that when we bring them back into the drive, but you guys do a real nice job. Look forward to working together as a group. I think you guys will definitely hold your own. Talk to the kids to my right individually about things that I want to see them fix. If you would, give them a nice round of applause as they exit the ring.
Now entering the ring is the 4-H junior drive. Intermediate 4-H, please be ready. Following the conclusion of the sheep showmanship, we will take a quick 5-10 minute break and then we will go into the dairy and pygmy goat showmanship.
Well, it's truly been an enjoyable time to come to Bishop and sort through some stock yesterday and then sort through your kiddos today. And you guys, as parents and 4-H leaders and FFA advisors, should be proud of these kids. Each one of them have great eye contact when I talk to them. They speak to me loud and clear. I don't know if they can tell that I'm hard of hearing or what, but they definitely speak up when they talk to me. There's some confidence there from kids that either won grand champion yesterday or kids to maybe be a little pissed at me when they go back to the barn, and that's okay. That's why we're here. We're here to compete. We're here to put a product out to the consumer, and then we're here to show it to the best of our abilities. And in California, we're under a lot of scrutiny for sometimes what we do to these animals as far as just wanting to bring them into the show ring. But I don't think there's any other project, soccer, baseball, basketball, whatever you want to talk about, than 4-H and FFA. If I have a kid that is going through an interview process, or a kid that just is coming to look for a job and they've been enrolled in 4-H or FFA, they definitely jump to the top of the list. And they're kids that I know that are going to be kids that I can rely on, dependable, hardworking, and want to be successful in life. And I think this is a very important project to keep involved with. You guys do a really nice job. It's been a great time. My ring staff, exceptional. You guys are the best. The show was extremely smooth, and I appreciate that. I'm going to go ahead and set the mic down. I appreciate my time here. Thank you guys for the invite, and I'll show you the 3 that I like the best in order.
The 4-H juniors in 5th place, Tommy Fogarty. 4th place, Ben Kemp. 3rd place, Kieran Blackburn. 2nd place, Sarah Brown. And in 1st place, Landon Blackburn. Now in the ring, we have 4-H intermediate showmanship.
Young man comes back into this division, steps up a notch, and I think he did as far as his showmanship abilities as well. He comes in, he gets his sheep walked around extremely good. He makes this thing drive just a notch harder. He's starting to get tired. He's starting to get a little lazy in his top line, and he gets a little bit more adamant about his front end. Gets him driving back over the top of his shoulder ever so slightly, just to make him elevate his rack and push through his loin. He has him stretched out a notch more in this particular class, but I'm okay with that because that's where he needs to be to drive forward. Really nice job. Really good correction there to make this sheep look that much better. The young man that comes in second, I think you do a phenomenal job as far as getting this one's head and neck placed in right, getting her chest floor up into her where she needs to be. At times she gets too narrow off her rear leg. I watched several times, was hoping that you would widen her out just a notch more, get her top set down in her. But I think you do a really nice job, and I think we're splitting hairs between first and second, and it's honestly personal preference because I think you do a really nice job. We just need to fix those things just to elevate you to the next level. Good job. Congratulations to you. Young lady that comes next, I, I would like to think that there's some things going on that structurally a disadvantage for you getting this sheep shown because he's a little straighter off both ends. He wants to push his chest floor down. You do a really nice job, and I love your style. I love the way you get back over the top of your shoulders. You have great eye contact. Your feet and leg placement on you is extremely good. At times, I think we get that neck pulled forward on that sheep too much. I'd like to set his chin or set his neck back over the top of his body. I'd like to set his chin down into his spine just a little bit so he's more comfortable being straighter off both ends. But I think you do a really good job, and I congratulate you on that. Just little things that I would like to see you fix. The individuals behind me, just things I told them that I would like to see them fix as far as hand placement or even feet placement on the sheep or making them drive a little bit harder. But a great class of showmen, good individuals. Congratulations to you.
In fifth place, Ryan Jeffrey. Fourth place, Kyron Blackburn. Third place, Courtney Polish. Second place, Will Kemp. And in first place, Landon Blackburn. Next in the ring is the 4-H Senior Drive.
I'm sure these two young men battle it out a lot, and one's just having a little bit better day than the other. The young man that wins this comes from juniors all the way up and talked about those juniors as being just so polite and kind, and their work ethic is extremely good. And this kind of shows that work ethic. He continues to work. He's been in the ring more times than anybody. He continues to get the sheep shown. He's adamant about where he wants that top place. He's adamant about where those feet and legs need to be. He does a really nice job as far as that head control, continues to work hard, and I hope you see that work ethic that I talked about in that particular junior drive. The young man that's in second, this ewe lamb's starting to get a little tired on you. She's starting to pull down on you just a notch. Her breathing has elevated a little bit more than it was in her particular class, but you do a really nice job. You stay extremely calm, really collected. We just need to get that one to drive just a little bit harder, and she's starting to get a little bit winded, so it's going to make that job just a little bit more difficult. But you do a really nice job, and I wish you a lot of luck down the road. Young lady that comes out of the senior division, our only senior out here, she just ran into an intermediate and a junior that's really good. Nothing to take away from you. We just need to work on feet and leg placement a little bit better and get that thing to push uphill a little bit more. Again, it's been an honor to come out and sort through your juniors today in showmanship, or your kids in showmanship, and your marquee yesterday. Thank you for the invite.
In third place, Lorelei Balkunis. Second place, Will Kemp. And in first place, Landon Blackburn. We will take a quick 10-minute break before we move on to the Dairy and Pygmy Goat Show.
5-minute call for the Dairy Goat Show. Jessica Millsap. 5-minute call for the Dairy Goat Show and Dairy Goat Showmanship. Jessica Millsap, we are ready for you. Please come ringside with your aged doe.
We only have one dairy goat in our show, and she definitely deserves the Supreme Champion banner. You talk about this one as far as being feminine, and she drives uphill. She's tall at the point of her shoulder. She's extremely capacious at the center part of her body. I love the wedge to her underline. And then you talk about her udder. She has a good fore udder attachment. Her rear udder, I'd like to change her just a notch, just attach it up a little bit better and a little bit higher as you view her from the rear. But I think that doe is awfully good, and I'm sure she's done you a lot of good down the road, or in the past and in the future. I'm sure she'll do you a lot of good. Congratulations to you.
In first place, Jessica Millsap. Next in the ring is the Pygmy Goat Show.
in our pygmy goat show or dwarf goat show, whatever you want to call it. I think that the one that I'm going to use for champion is one that just is extremely good on his feet and legs. He has a good attitude to him. He's tall fronted. He's just a really nice goat. He's very well taken care of. I love his feet placement on him. Just a nice goat to go ahead and be champion. The Nigerian dwarf goat that comes next is one that fits the breed extremely well. He's level in his top line. He has a good set to his hind leg. Another one that's very well taken care of. Really nice goat there to be second. The goat that rounds out this particular division, a nice goat, long-bodied, really well taken care of. He just maybe isn't as good structured compared to the two in front of him, but still a really nice goat that's very well taken care of. Congratulations to all three of you.
In first place, Reese Buffington. Second place, Taryn Mitchner. And in third place, Dylan Mitchner. Now in the ring is Pygmy Goat Novice Showmanship.
Young lady does a really nice job in showmanship. She gets this one set up extremely good. She walks him around the ring. When he decides to slow down, she speeds him up with the appropriate manner. Just does a really good job. Definitely deserves a first place ribbon.
In first place, Dylan Mitchner. Next in the ring, we have Pygmy Goat Junior Showmanship.
Actually going to leave them like they stand. The young lady in the front that comes out of our first division, she's going to win this division as well. I think she does a really nice job. She's extremely calm. Her eye contact is great. She moves around that goat extremely well. Where you set yourself aside is you get that thing to walk with his head up. He's very comfortable, and he just is extremely fluid in his motion, and I appreciate that. You do a really nice job there. Young lady that's going to be second, much like the young lady that wins, you do a really nice job. You're a little bit more relaxed. You're a little bit easier on your style than much like the young lady in third. We could work on some feet placement just a little bit to move you up in the line, but I think you do a really nice job. Young lady that comes third, I'd like to just see you relax just a little bit, step away from that goat just a little bit more. When I step around behind that goat, make a nice smooth turn in front of that goat instead of being so quick, and just work on feet placement a little bit better out of his rear leg. If we could fix that, definitely we could move you up. Congratulations to all three of them. Give them a nice round of applause.
In third place, Taryn Mitchner. Second place, Reese Buffington. And in first place, Dylan Mitchner. Now entering the ring is our primary pygmy goat showmanship.
if this particular class doesn't get you excited about the livestock industry, I don't know what would. By far my favorite class to judge of the day. If you would, give them a big round of applause. I know everybody's going to get a ribbon today, but there's a couple individuals out here that I would like to just point out and give them a few compliments. Young lady with the littlest goat right in front of me, you do the best job walking that one around the ring. You get his head high and up over the top of his shoulder, and your eye contact is extremely good, and I commend you for that. Nice job. And then we have a young lady down here with the spotted up one. You have good control over that one. Your eye contact is extremely good. I appreciate that. The rest of you did a really nice job. If you would, give them a nice big round of applause.
Congratulations to all of our primary showmen. That concludes the dairy and pygmy goat show. We will see you all back here at 3 for our cattle show.